Hello, everybody. My name is Rose, and we're playing, yet again, some mobile-based survival. Today, we are going to possibly look at making, a fighter. I think a fighter ship would be really, really good. Um, we are starting to expand pretty heavily recently, and I'm noticing some, vehicles flying past us in the sky, and they're getting kind of close. I think the range that they usually spawn in is about 5 kilometers or something like that. Um, and once they get into that 3 kilometer range, they tend to like get really aggressive. Um, so I think we're gonna start building a fighter to possibly go out. Now I want to make something that uh is relatively cheap to build, just so that we can get a printer block in here on like maybe a hinge or something. Um, a hinge and then a printer, and then we can just come in here with a welder ship, weld it all up, and then it's in the hangar and prep for us to print out again. Um, that way you can literally print it up, send it out, and be good as new. Um, we might mess with this a little bit to make it possible for us to do it, because I did throw some solar panels on here to hopefully get some charge. I threw on 2 thrusters because we're gonna start adding thrusters as the shape progresses. I think what I might do eventually too is raise this up one more, so those thrusters have an extra block of space, because they kind of look a little cramped as they are right now. Um, and then that goes into a little slot right here, which will have conveyor buttons, and then I have some batteries. Look like they're almost fully charged. I have been sitting here a little bit trying to get some of my resources to build up. A lot of off-camera mining as well, because I believe I got some more iron and I bumped down some of our silicon, because we had so much silicon that it was becoming really an issue. I couldn't actively get any of my iron smelted down because I was burning through all my silicon. So I had to build a second refinery with a speed module. Um, just burned through it because it was taking such an incredibly long time for it to burn through. With that speed modular in here, we're probably gonna have to put another battery in this, um, and then possibly turn like a toggle switch on to make this a little bit more cost effective. Because we are burning through so much, um, so much. Like we have about 5.9k silicon, um, and I believe we still had some left over. So that I think it's sitting somewhere. I don't think it's sitting in these cargo bins, but yeah, it was definitely needed. And then we got our little programmable block here. I don't know if I showed this off. If we go into our cockpit, I actually have set up a full power summary. So we have, or we are using about 1.4 megawatts worth of power. Uh, we have almost full battery charge. I don't think this is up to date right now because it takes a second for all this to update. That's why you see it splashing every so often. Uh, so time left for full depletion says it's got 1 second before it's completely full depleted, which shouldn't be true. And then we have our total amount of hydrogen. We filled up our hydrogen tanks too because while I was mining iron in this little iron hole right here, We have this little spot for ice, and I've just been slowly carving it out, and then finding other sources because I actually ran out of the spot that I do use for gathering ice. So every time I go mine a different ore variant, I just try to get half a tank full of ice. Um, that way we can fully get all the resources we need. Alrighty. Let's see if that actually shows up. Yeah, no, we have 4 hours before depletion, so I don't know if that means we're fully charged in a second, because I think our hydrogen engines are running. And we just bumped up to 10 hours. Yep, there you go. Power time, 9 hours, 47 minutes. Really, really neat. So this is a cool little, like, base away from the main base. We can drop this. We have power. We have a survival kit. And then this shows how much we have. So we have 13.9k silicon. We have 25.5 iron. We have a little bit of scrap. That's how much the direct list of cargo we have. No silver, no gold, no platinum, no uranium. We're not going to have uranium because we're on a Earth-like. And then this is a full list of all of the components we have as well. So I can come over here and be like, oh, we're really low on, a specific type of material. Then I can go in and set it, or if I go into here, I go over to the production tab. Oh, it's not in the production tab. It would just be with the basic assembler. We go down to the basic assembler. We have a quota list mod. So right now I have it set to just producing 400 steel plates. So if I take all the steel plates out, it will automatically start producing more steel plates. I will probably fine-tune this in. Like, for instance, we are probably not going to have any ammo set. We're not going to need any of these handrails. But it's a good little thing so that we always have a set amount of materials. And with this just being a mobile rover, we might have it set to, like, probably 100 out of each, and then 400 in the girders, because realistically, we'll just be using that to patch up other vehicles while we're out. Because that's not always going to have the miner on it. When we put this gunship in here, if we take the gunship out and we're trying to just keep the ship safe, but it's too far away from us, we'll pop it on the rover, and then the rover will drive over to a better position, still out of the way, and then the gunship can go off. And then if the gunship's hurt, pop him back, picks him up, send him off again. But yeah, let's get started on the gunship. So we're gonna need a cockpit. We have these hazardous operations, these lowriders, the hamster ball cockpits. What does this look like? That's kind of neat, honestly. I don't know if we would use this, though. I feel like this is better off for some sort of, like, Mars-like rover. Let's see what else we have. Nothing in the factory cockpits that I like. We have the original fighter cockpit. And then we have this hazardous operations cockpit. That could potentially be a very cool looking cockpit. Let's get a landing gear. And then switch over to the small one. Let's go get some steel plates, motors, and construction components out of the other ship. Motors, steel plates. Let's not grab 800. Let's grab 400. And then we need some construction components. Let's just grab all of them. We'll probably need some interior plates too, because I want to first and foremost make the pop it right there. I want to first and foremost make the power system, because this not only will be our fighter, it's gonna be our first hydrogen powered vehicle. I think hydrogen power will be a lot more important for a fighter vehicle, just because we need that speed. We need that speed, and we need to be able to go over the mountains and everything. So it just seems like a good idea. Let's get just a regular light armor block, just so I can put something on this. I thought if that was connected, it would possibly let me pull from it, but oh, overshot it. That was a bit much. So it looks like we're missing computers, metal grids, and bulletproof glass. We have everything else. Yeah, one computer. Let's say about 20 metal grids, and then 30. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Build some interior plates up. Construction components, because I know we'll need those later. We're gonna need some motors. I know that for a fact. 30 plates, and then we did make the bulletproof glass. I feel like I'm forgetting the last item. So everything else is in, we're just missing that computer. Probably what we were forgetting. Prediction. Put on 30 computer. And we'll take this off the build planner, because it still thinks that we're missing the other items. Alrighty. Here's our hazardous operations cockpit. And then we'll probably just build the actual vehicle, and I'll worry about the paint job later, because I'm terrible with paint jobs. I can get them right sometimes, but then other times they'll look like this gray blob for the foundry. Like this, I quite like this. It's a pretty nice looking ship. And then we have the brick that is the foundry. So I'll have to go back and figure out what to paint it with. Let's pop these off. Okay. So we probably want to put storage right there. I don't think we'll need all this storage that goes with the modular cargo container, even though it visually fits. I don't see us needing that. Um, get these small cargo containers, and then large. Let's grab a medium. We're gonna need the cargo container because um, we need somewhere to put our ammo. Oh, that will be important. Grab all of our interior plates. Then we'll grab 6 again. And we're not gonna need too much. Ooh, gotta sneeze real quick. Ooh, man, allergy season is terrible for me because I have nose piercings and it tends to tickle my nose pretty bad, and then my allergies make it even worse. So, constantly fighting between it. 4 computers and 1 display. Do we have those? Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't letting us grab that. While we're here, I saw something that was visually a nice idea. We keep on having to jump on this. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a lip so I can stop having to jump on this. And let's grab some more girders. 10 girders should do it. Ooh, that did not place how I wanted it to place. And then can I get the angled one? There we go. This has always annoyed me. So that way we can just pop on and seat ourselves down properly. Be okay. More construction components. And then let's produce like 40. And there we go. Okay. I did not mean to pull those motors, but we definitely need those motors. Let's put back like 30 displays. I don't see us needing all of those. Probably need the computers though. And then before we leave, let's just let's recharge our systems. Alrighty. Yep. We got a cargo. Luckily, I think they'll try to avoid us just because they're a cargo ship. But that's what I was talking about. We're seeing these more and more often. I would like to start actually, like, trying to go attack them, too, because I think it'd be cool to start assimilating them into our group. I think that would be kind of funny. That we're just like a dude that's like, you get too close to me, I'm gonna assume that you want to be my friend. If you like it or not, you're my friend now. Alrighty. Kind of just filling out the shape, trying to make it look a little bit more visually distinct. Because I think what I'm also gonna do maybe put out these as like a wing type system. And then I also want to put landing gears on this. There is these foldable landing gears from one of the mods I have. I think that would look pretty cool on it. I just have to figure out how to get them to actually fold up properly. But we got our storage for ammo. Then next we would need a some sort of tank. We don't need oxygen, we just need hydrogen because our ship runs on hydrogen. So we're going to switch over to the conveyor converter. And we won't put an O2H2 gen on this, we'll just have it take from, something else. Oh, it's trying to... We don't need to do that. We only have 2 small steel tubes, so I need to produce some more. And that's an output, so it will not let me take. Because of the smart chutes, they actually keep me from pulling, I believe. There we go. As soon as he's past that 4 mark and he's farther away, I'm a lot happier. Less afraid of him trying to attack. Alrighty. We're just doing the skeleton for now, so I'm not too worried about aesthetics. I want this one, obviously, because we're gonna need that for the rear thruster. Let's do a straight right here, and then a T right here, and then another straight, and then another T, then those will be 2 hydrogen tanks right there. And then we'll do the same right here. Straight T. I'm always terrible with those. Trying to figure out which way is the right way. This back, weld these up, and we're out of motors. We need to go grab some motors too. This isn't, yeah, it's locked. It felt like it was tilting for some reason. Okay, there you go. Let's grab our hydrogen tanks. Those are small lab hydrogen tanks. We don't need those. See, these are pretty chunky. I don't want to have them sitting like that. Can I sit them like this? And just do some finagling, possibly? Or these could probably sit in line with each other. Those could probably sit in line with each other. Boom. Boom. Boom is also probably the sound that these are going to make once they get hit. So we have to probably put heavy armor surrounding this section just to make sure that they don't go boom. Because there is probably a high likelihood that they do. And then what I'll probably do is, because it will not fly until we get some hydrogen in it, and this is not plumbed up at all. I will grab him and put like a mag plate on him, and then just pick him up and try to place him on that to get it. Um, Speaking of, let's fill up our hydrogen tanks on ourselves. Oh, there you go. Believe we need some large steel tubes. Okay, and we need more motors too, but these... Oh, okay. Large steel tubes are usually super heavy and they make it hard for us to pick anything up. But I think we only need 4 anyway. Yeah, it's just 1 for each. Alrighty. There we go. Now let's weld these small conveyor tubes up. Now, I don't know what type of weapon systems we're going to have on this. I want one just turret that's just I can turn off and on. Let's try out this what's this flak turret? This flak turret looks relatively cheap. 80 millimeter. They all look relatively cheap. So I guess we'll just pick one that looks aesthetically pleasing and we'll put it on. And then also, I believe we have a mod that gives us shields. Granted, they take up a lot of battery power. So we probably want to put on some pretty heavy batteries as well. Let's put some small batteries in the center. I want some small batteries, and then I also want a gyro. I think 2 gyros is probably what we'll do. So I'm gonna have them. Do we want to make this fatter around this section? I think it would look kind of neat. Let's fatten this out a little. Let's see. There should be a block that lets us... I can't position this right. Kind of make it look a little bit nicer looking. And then that part back there is going to be mostly steel plates to try to protect it. And then we'll put a heavy steel plate on top of this too, just because I think this is going to be our only cargo. So far, it's kind of starting to take shape. think it would be kind of cool. It kind of looks like a fish. Um, I want batteries. Let's see. Because I don't see us needing a lot of battery power because I think the only thing that takes power are the turrets. I think those waste the most like battery power. So maybe we put another set down here. These tanks also need power. Or maybe we put a big battery uh, right here. Then it could possibly get shot that way though. Try to crouch, not shift. Just swap these up real quick. I want to see what that will look like if I put a battery down here. Okay. Um, Possibly. But we definitely need a spot for downward thrust, so I guess it can't go in the center. Alrighty. Uh, if we're gonna do wings, put the wings right here. Do on each side. And then we will do... I believe there is these small conveyors. And since we can't do down ones there, we'll do down ones here. So we'll have one up, one down. And then this is left. Other side's right. So... something like this. And then I want another, like, this. Because that's going to be where our guns connect up to. Because I want probably 4 guns on each, or 2 guns on each side. And then the turret on top. Okay. I think that's cool. And then I saw something on um the main page when you start up Space Engineers. There's like this cool little build they have where they have thrusters on a rotor, and when it launches, when it launches up, the rotors are facing down, but when it wants to go forward with more speed, the rotors flip uh, backward, so it lets you thrust back. I think that would be really cool to throw on this. I don't know how well it's going to translate, because personally I've never done it before. But I think it'd be really cool. Like maybe if we put like these industrial, what does these industrial look like? Ooh, they are huge. And they have a big back. Yeah, so these would be great on here because then we put a hinge, not a hinge, but a rotor. Get a rotor. Um, because these rotors have inserts on the back. So it's got the main wing with the turrets and everything on it, but then it's got the rear wing, which is, I guess, extra thrust to let us thrust. I guess also I guess we would need a programmable block. So we'll put that right here. Okay. And then I might build up the shell a little bit and get I think we're gonna grind these away. We'll figure out what we're gonna do as far as the look of this after we get the frame built up. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna smash cut till when we got all of this built up because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to wait on some resources. Um, yeah, stuff like that. I want to get rid of those. Um, but I'm pretty sure we gotta wait on some resources, especially for these power cells and computers. And then I will get back to you guys. Alrighty, guys. So I've gotten more of the shape filled out. Um, the transition right here is gonna be pretty weird because we're gonna flare these out to kind of line up with this. Don't know exactly how we're gonna pop this out. I might have to
Inventory full.
pop those off to try to get it because we're using these heavy plates now. Uh, all of this has to be boarded up too, and then I want to put. Uh, I feel like 2 gyros is a good amount. I feel like I feel like we won't need more than 2 gyros right here. We're gonna need some computers and um, large steel tubes. We'll just put that on the list. But yeah. And then we got our thrusters right here. I'm thinking probably we are going to just do something like this. Because I don't want them to interfere with the wings too hard. I want them to just barely exist because they're also, when they're like this is technically a subgrid now. So we we would consider, or space engineers would consider this a different ship compared to the rest of the vehicle. And that's just a cargo ship, so we're okay. So they consider these thrusters almost separate from the rest of the vehicle. So it's gonna be pretty interesting seeing how this is gonna form up. Um, and then this also needs the blueprint saved because I would like to be able to print this on. Oh, it did not want to stay where it wanted to go. I want to be able to print these, um, because I have a pretty good feeling that without the shield generators, which require superconductors, so we're quite away from it. Without the shield generators, they will not work. Um, Unfortunately. So we'll kind of have to finagle with it a little bit. I'm going to take these light armor slopes off. Because I'm thinking probably... Oh, and that one's a heavy too, so... Thinking probably what this is going to be is going to be a heavy armor. We don't have a lot of, unfortunately. Heavy armor, and then we're going to flip it this way because we want to almost hide that thruster right there. Because hopefully, if we do this right, these thrusters will just be needed to keep it lifted and let us go up and down. This will be the launching thrusters. I don't know if we might have to expand the wings, honestly. I feel like what we'll probably have to do is make these wings just a little bit longer. It's not even the same because that has a tube right there anyway. I'm thinking probably we'll have to go out this much more. Oh. Thought I had my grinder. That's downward thrust. And then probably have to space this out just one more. Then we can have our guns. So 1, 2, 1, 2. One more. And then our gun. Unfortunately, I believe this is now not going to fit in that bay. It's a little bit sad, but it could be worse. And then it's probably also going to have to be top-loaded. We'll put the connector right there, because the gun is probably going to sit right here. Gun's probably going to sit right here. Gun's probably going to sit right here. Alrighty. Then we can do this. It's very hard to see at night. I'm finding more and more and more that we need some better lighting. We're just gonna we're gonna angle these. I feel like these are gonna be better off. Like this. Do we have the inverted corner? There we go. Alrighty. It's starting to get a shape. I don't know if the shape is good, but it's there, and I think that's what matters. That's gonna have to come off, and that's the only thing that's holding these on. Now it should let me grind those away. It should let me connect up all my conveyors and stuff. Okay. It's looking better and better as I go. I wish I had mirror mode. Oh, mirror mode would save me so much effort right now. And we'll leave a hole for that one. Oh, and we got one. And then we'll leave a hole for this too. I don't know how we're gonna make these wings look. I don't know if we want them to be that or what. Because it looks like they're kind of gonna sit like this. Which I'm hoping we'll have enough thrust to actually get this. Or I might have to make this out of light armor. I might have to literally just take this whole thing and redo it in light. I know we were having an issue with Atmos thrusters. That's a conveyor, so that needs to pop out. I know we were having an issue with Atmos thrusters, not lifting because the whole thing was made out of heavy. So we'll leave this open because we probably are to make this the turret holder and then bolt those up together. This is gonna look so very weird. I guess I'll get back to y'all when I get this all welded up. We'll see if it flies. Alrighty, guys. So, did a little bit more constructing, and I've come to the realization that we were just too heavy to properly lift ourselves with the heavy armor blocks. So I went down to these light armor blocks. Realistically, this is just going to be our first fighter ship. I plan on, hopefully, taking something like that Triton over there. Oh, and we're stuck. Let's respawn real quick because we're stuck completely underneath that, and there was no way that we were gonna get out of that. Alrighty. Oof, that was bad. Let's just grab our stuff real quick. Not the build planner. We want to just pause all of our stuff in here. There we go. But yeah, I found that we were just not providing enough lift. Threw a little bit of hydrogen in here. Originally planned to just top load it in using that. Oop, we accidentally turned our dampeners off for some reason. But yeah, it just wasn't providing enough lift. So I went and put some Atmos thrusters in. These ones right here, these ones right here. And then I threw on some left and right ones. Realized that we did not actually have any side-to-side thrust when I was flying it. Thankfully I caught it and I wasn't too high up. That would have sucked because we haven't blueprinted this yet. And then I threw some extra ones on the switch locks, and I got them all set up. Dude, these are so cool. They function exactly how I want them to function. So we just hit 9, and boom. We hit my soda. Yeah, we have up and down thrust now for extra hover potential. Say we need to get off the launch pad as quick as possible. we make sure that they're on the lift mode, and then when we are ready to just zoom, press 9 again, and we have 3 hydrogen thrusters forward. Um, Now, I don't know how well that's going to be because we only have 2 for reverse, so we have to be careful. What I might do is I might see if I can't figure out how to have 2 different orientations for these. I wonder if it's possible because right now we have up and down. See, maybe if we have a third option possibly to reverse ourselves in. I did end up having to space them out because you see how close these are. Whew, did not they did not want to chink off. They were binding up right here, unfortunately. Which, I mean, it doesn't aesthetically mess with it too much, but oh well. What I might do is we have these 3 spots right here. Um, we might throw in some extra hydrogen thrusters right there just for more support because currently we have 4 for 1. So it would be close to the right amount. Just realized that these are not facing the right way. um, but I don't want to add too much weight to the vehicle because if I add any more, then we run into the issue of it's not going to want to lift anymore. Uh, we will, I guess, go ahead and blueprint this. Um, I know that we haven't welded those up, but I want this just saved for the time being. So we're gonna hit Control B. We don't have a name for it yet, but we are gonna take a screenshot. We got the foundry. We have our new fighter jet, and then we have the miner. Wow, we were using a lot of DLCs for that one. This one we just did warfare because we used the warfare thrusters. Everything else is actually vanilla, surprisingly. Um, or well, vanilla and like base game, and then these modded hydrogen thrusters because I like the way that they were slanted. But yeah, alrighty. It's not too shabby. We'll have to load this up with it looks like this uses 8mm. We hit K on this. Oh no, K on this, and we'll have to set all of these up to be part of groups and everything. But let's see. Just type in turret. This uses, yeah, 80 by 455mm. And then auto AI, and then we can mouse control it also. AI control, cursor following, aiming range. For this, I would like for it to affect power, because if we go to try to capture other ships, I think it would be great that this thing just hard targets anything that um, wants to run away or attack us. Yeah. From what I remember from a different DLC, this thing fires like a truck. It's really, really good for small ships. That magnesium deposit, we're actually gonna have to mine out with our miner. And hopefully we can get it. Unfortunately, I tried to set up a little dongle right here because I realized that we had this top loaded. It doesn't fit. If the wings were like a block shorter on each side, it would actually fit in. But because we have these ion thrusters right here and these armor slopes, there's no room. So it doesn't fit in anymore. Um, it would fit like a glove otherwise. So we're gonna have to figure a way to have this always pumped with hydrogen and power. Because we have about 7 days worth of power. Ooh, that we'll hit Y, so it's powered off, so we don't run low on power. But we on a full batteries, we have um. Ooh, he is going the opposite way. Thankfully, we don't have enough power or bullets for this to work. Um, full ship power. It's got about 8 days when it's not running, and I think thrust-wise, up and down, um, it's about 22 minutes. So if it needs to hover, it can hover. It just doesn't hover great. Um, and I'm sure when this turret's actually firing, it's going to be even less power. But it's got 2 big batteries and then a long row right here of small batteries. I thought about maybe putting batteries in this as well, but I'm concerned about weight. Thrust to weight ratio on this is really abysmal. It's probably the worst out of any ship I've made so far, because this right here, this miner, uses 4 Atmos thrusters for lift. And we'll turn our thrusters on. Okay, it's not connected. Atmos thruster uses, or this miner uses 4 Atmos thrusters for lift. And this thing, honestly, is almost, oh, was close. It's almost too fast up and down. And this thing hovers with, I think, close to like 22,000 worth of iron in it. I think that's what the total weight is. So let's see, because it's right here. So we have about 3. So 33. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So this thing, with 4 Atmos thrusters and 33 kilograms extra weight, is really like completely hovering still. I mean, granted, it struggles sometimes. Like I've noticed that on a full. No, I meant to. Oh, I want the thrusters off. Hit P instead of N, or P instead of 9. That. How much does this weigh? How much does this weigh? So, about 170 kilograms. And how much does this weigh? Yeah, that's quite a lot more. That's comparatively. Let's pull up some math. Let's see. So that's 388. So we'll round. No, we'll just 388. 158. And then let's get into the other one and see what that one's at. 169, 115. So this thing is roughly 2,200 pounds lighter. 2,200 pounds lighter than this. And it's not even that much larger either. Like, honestly, I feel like there's more blocks on that than there is this. Honestly, I feel like this is reminding me of a pelican from Halo. I don't know why. Maybe it's the fact that these rotate, and that's what's getting me. It definitely feels like it's like the Halo Pelican. Also, um, one of these is reversed the wrong way. It's because it's in its when it's in its default state. It ah okay. This thing weighs too much for. On this side, the torque on this is lower than it is on this. So the torque was holding this one up, but it wasn't holding that one up. Most likely that's what that was. Like, oh, I turned the power off. Why is one working and one's not? That's probably why. Yeah. This thing is a hefty boy. And I think partially what it is also is I think I still have some, yeah. I still have some heavy armor blocks in this that I could probably trim. But that is probably nowhere near, can I see weight in here? No, I cannot see weight in here. I can see PCU count, but I can't see weight. Oh, let's clear those. Those are like the last things I did. Yeah. Man, this thing weighs so much. And I'm sure it's not going to help when I load this thing full of bullets. For now, what we'll probably have to do is use the miner as a support vehicle and make sure the batteries are fully charged on it all the time and make sure... Ooh, can it fit? That's probably a good time to check. Let's make sure that we don't accidentally clip the side of our next ship. And let's pop him over here. It should clear. Yep. Just barely. Okay. So, most likely, you know what we also need to do? Now that I'm thinking about it, we're gonna take the parking brake off. Go here. I've been looking at it. We need to find the ore removal, lights, batteries, removal settings, stone removal chute, ore removal chute. Turn that off for parking. It's not a parking item. We'll put that right there. Switch lock over here. Connector used for parking off. Switch lock. Where is that? And then while we're here, landing gears. Then we will hide those in the terminal. Groups, landing gears. That way, I can literally come in here, turn those off, come in here, drop ourselves down, lock that on, and then I just want to see. No. So, the combined weight on this is not enough. We will not be able to, like, lift this at all. We are not We are not parked. Right? I can't. Oh, parking's released. Yeah. Nope. It simply weighs too much. Alrighty. So, wait, no, they locked back on. Unlock. Parking engaged, parking released. I might have to turn those landing gears into toggle block. Now they don't work. Yep, but we still cannot lift. And I think it's siphoning power right now. Oh, we get to see our batteries, lights, and thrusters on here. We made put those on our second pad for turning power off and on for this. Because we're gonna have to baby bird, because I believe. No, it does not. It does not. So what we might have to do is we might have to throw on a new mod, because I just did this recently. It's such a simple thing. I don't know why I didn't think about it. Instead of having to remove the conveyor converter for our drills, I just put a little loop right here. So these are always going to face this way when I grind them off. That way our welders and our grinders still fit on the conveyor converters. And then our drill doesn't have to mod the conveyor converter for the connection right here. It's such a small little detail, but it helps so much. And I think what we'll do eventually, when we get a little more settled, is make some merge block situation where these can swap out for each type, and then this will just be the utility ship. Right now it's just the miner. But I would like to make it the utility one. I'm worried about that. I think we're gonna call it here real quick. I'm gonna save. Just in case. That's gonna be it from you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. We got a lot done. I know it doesn't feel like it because we didn't really get to use him, but I'm hoping that maybe next time we can actually go after some icon ships. I think they're friendly. I don't think they'll attack me, so yeah, hopefully we can go after something like those icon ships in the next episode. I think that'd be really cool. Maybe, if we... Is that a large ship? Let me... Hold on. Let me, Yeah, that's a large ship. Okay. Uh... Maybe we can possibly take down a large ship and then throw on our landing pad situation or something on that. And kind of just be like a scavenging group. I think that'd be really, really cool. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next Sunday.